it's a positive film. It has heroes and villains, and that it essentially is a fun movie to watch. It's been a long time since people have been able to go to the movies and see a sort of straightforward, wholesome, fun adventure.
Well, it's a fantasy. It's not science fiction so much as it is space fantasy. And it's about people. It's finally about people and not finally about science.
The story, when you actually put it into words, is only so much nonsense to hang a great visual experience onto. It's the stuff that fairy tales are made of.
Sort of boiling down religion into a very basic concept. The fact that there is some deity or some power or some force that sort of controls our destiny works for good and also works for evil.
Marvellous, healthy innocence. Great pace, wonderful to look at, full of guts, nothing unpleasant. I mean, people go bang bang and people fall over and are dead, but, no horrors. A sort of wonderful freshness about it, kind of like a wonderful fresh air.
It's got whatever you want it to be. It's pure entertainment. It's like a roller coaster ride, and it can be interpreted as long as you enjoy it, which is the intention.
Hello and welcome back to Generation Skywalker once again here on Book Month. As we often talk about, we're all collectors of toys and stuff, and no more so than the vintage stuff. So I was quite privileged to be able to catch up with Stephane Faucourt, who has recently released his latest vintage based book, the Legendary Advertisements, which is all the advertisements from France during the period of 1978 to 1985. Right, I'm delighted to welcome Stephane Faucourt to Generation Skywalker. Stephane, hello, how are we?
Fine, thanks, and hi to everyone. It's a real pleasure to be here again and then being able to have this chat with you for the community.
Yeah, it's great having you on, Stephane, because your work's always great in the community. You always seem to be up to something, and we've got you on during our book month, and it's just perfect because your latest book has just been released. Legendary Advertisements. Could you just give us a kind of an introduction to the book?
Yes, so it's something we wanted to achieve for a while. It's a book which features all the fabulous French Meccano toys related advertisement, and also the promotional campaigns from the youth publications such as the famous Pif Gadget, and also the Meccano material aimed at professional retailers. It's something it's something we wanted to do for a while because those advertisements are very popular among collectors, and they are very sought after. And we can see frequently, people buying and selling them, even cut out from magazines. And so we figure out, and I know that many collectors are actually looking for them, assemble a set, for example, of the famous, 25 scenes from Pif Gadget, from The Empire Strikes Back, and other famous marketing campaigns. And of course, this won't be the original, but at least you can get all the advertisements at their original size, with also a marketing perspective, and you have everything in one volume. So that's the nice bonus,
It's a brilliant book. I've got it in hand, and I've got a few of your books, which we're going to get onto in a minute. But it's a really nicely done, full colour. It's a great book to go through. I don't know if you worked during COVID. Has that been a help putting the book together? Did you have more time to work on it, or is it always in the pipeline and always well underway?
It's something we have been discussing for a while, but we never really had the time to do such a project. So yes, the lockdown helped release this project, and something which came during the first lockdown actually, and then we thought it would be, like you said, a nice extent to the previous books, not about action figures, but something related, and would be a nice follow-up. And Yann is also collecting the advertisement from all the original licenses, the European licenses, I mean, and he really observed a real enthusiasm from collectors about that. So yes, the first lockdown really helped during this book, and it took a few months. We had to review and select all the things we wanted to put inside. Also do the page layout and write the blurbs from the marketing perspective, and also something I did also was to rescan all my documents because some of these advertisements were already published in the French textbook, but it was really small format, really small size, because the French church is about everything, so it's it just couldn't. Just couldn't hold this advertisement in full format. So the scans were good quality, but it was for a small resolution. And since we wanted to publish the advertisement at their original size, each time it was possible, of course. So I had to rescan everything to make sure we get the perfect, the most perfect quality in the printing.
Yeah, and I think that works, doesn't it? The book's A4, and it's like you say, the advert taking up the whole page. It's really clear, and see it. Yeah, so it's wonderful. Well, we'll get onto the book a bit more in a minute, which is obviously what we're here for tonight. But just for our listeners, let's just get a bit about you. What is your relationship with Star Wars, and where did it all begin for you, and why are you so invested in this as a hobby?
Yeah, so I started playing with the Star Wars toys since the very beginning. I'm part of the first generation, so I had the toys when they were released in 1978, the first figures and also the first vehicles, and it's something I really enjoyed playing with when I was a child, and even at that point, because I was 6 when I got my first toy, so even at that point, I used to keep some of the boxes to store the toys. It was not collecting yet, but I used to keep some of the box. And also by the end of the Empire Strikes Back era, I was starting to keep aside also the card backs. Unfortunately, not the Star Wars one, but later on. And also I was. I have to admit that I was somehow a bit spoiled as a child, because I was lucky enough to have many other toy lines like Big Jim, Playmobil, Lego, Shogun Warriors, and many others. But Star Wars always remained my favorites, and so I quit buying the toys in about 1985. It was in the first quarter of 1985. I made a school trip to UK, and I remember I went to London and also to Canterbury and Bath, I guess. And that's the place where I bought my last carded figures in 1985, and then I quit. And I remember that during the late 80s, I remember going to garage sales because it was quite common where I lived, and I recall seeing really often Star Wars toys, including figures or vehicles I didn't knew they were released because I had quit in the first quarter of 1985. But I didn't, I was a teenager, more than a teenager, so I just passed, and I didn't buy anything. So it came back as a passion, a hobby in 1995 when I, with the announcements of the new re-release from Kenner, and at that point I said to myself, maybe that's an opportunity. If Kenner is releasing the toys again, that should mean that maybe my old toys have a status of collectibles, and there is maybe a secondary market for these toys, and maybe I could find the toys I didn't get at the time. So that's how I I went back into collecting, and to reply that the second part of your question, of course, it's a hobby, a side passion, and at the first place, I didn't mean to become an author or a speaker because I was just a collector at the beginning, and I realized after completing my Trilogo set around 2005, and also I had many French items, Meccano items in my hands or traded, in the process. And so I figured that I had assembled some kind of knowledge I could share with the community, which was quite growing at that time. And until 2001, I was running a website, and it was really constraining, keeping up with updates. It was very consuming, so I stopped doing that. And so when I figured out a way to share my knowledge with the community in 2005, 2006. So the book was a choice which naturally came in mind because it was one big effort, one big investment, but at least it was not something which I had to do every week, for years.
Do you do writing or anything with your career, or is this is just like a side passion?
Yeah, it's really a side passion. I'm not a writer or anything, and it's true that we are writing and emailing a lot at work, but and we have to write it correctly. But it's really not the same purpose. I'm working in the IT, so it's really a totally different kind of writing.
Yeah, I was actually I was thinking today. I mean, with regards to like collecting, I can only think of maybe Steve Sansweet and maybe Gus Lopez and Duncan Jenkins that have actually written more books than yourself on the hobby.
Maybe.
Couldn't think of anyone else that had written that many, because this isn't, like we've already alluded to, this isn't your first book. You've written several others. Could you just take us through you just mentioned the first one there. I think you said 2005 or 2006, but there's been a few more, isn't there, since then?
Yeah. So the first one was Meccano Trilogo, like we said, in 2006. Then, so it was a quite complete book. The pictures are not perfect, and some of the information inside came outdated the years that followed, because when the first a book like that is first released, of course, it brings more items to the market to surface, and we discover new things. That's also the good thing about this kind of books. And also, so on the years that follow Meccano Trilogo, I had the opportunity to upgrade many of my items and make new finds, and also other people made new finds. And so at that point, around maybe 2010 or 11, I had quite some material to do a real update from the first book, because so much things were discovered, and I had so many new pictures because I could upgrade some items, find new catalogs, etc. And so I wonder if I could make a Meccano Trilogo update or release 2. And I was not satisfied with the idea, because just doing an update of the book, a toy book or toy related book. So that's how I came to my second book, which is the French Touch. And so I wanted to do, of course, the toys, so review the entire toy section, but also I found it would be the opportunity to review the entire merchandise produced in France during the original era, so 1977 to 87. And so I did almost 2 years of additional researches to find, the new, all the merchandise, the posters, the vinyls, the whatever, and also additional researches to go deep into the catalogs, the retailer catalogs, the professional magazines, to understand how these toys were released, in what, how they follow during the years, and get all the history, and behind this, and how everything was marketed. So that's why it took 2 years. And so this is how came the French Touch in 2013. And I made a second edition with a few updates in 2015, because so the the first one from 2013, which I sold initially at SN, Celebration 2 Europe, is no longer available. Now it's only the upgraded edition. And so in 2016 for Celebration Europe London, we released with Yann the Meccano to Troy Logo Collector's Handbook. So it's already a handbook size. And so it's something which had never been done before. So you can get all the figures, Meccano and Troy Logo with the rarity index, very nice pictures, and the size of the book, even if it's small, allows to feature only the carded figures picture on each page. So in fact, the pictures are more shiny and more large than any other books, even the big books. So that's something we wanted to do, and it's something which is already a collecting tool. So we are really proud of this book. And so the next one was in 2018, and it's called 40 Years of French Culture. So this is also a project we wanted to do for a long time. And actually this book took 4 years to make. Why 4 years? Because the purpose of the book is to review 40 years of French merchandise or French specific merchandise or specific marketing campaigns or stuff like that, which were released, so really specific to French, which were released between 1978 and 2018. So it goes from the first Star Wars to episode 8, and we review all the iconic products. And it's not like a collecting book, with just scans or upper view of the items, flat view of the items. It's really something we wanted to make nice photographic, like advertising or marketing pictures. And so we are not showing, for example, if we show the Le Gaulois or the French, food campaigns, we are not going to show all the packaging, and all the premiums, but just the nice pictures of a selection of what was available. And so we are also really proud of this book because so we were 4 to team up, and I'm not sure if I said it, but that's why it took so long, because we used collections and items from 4 of our collections. And we are quite proud of this book also because we figure out that anyone who's going to browse this book, even if he's a collector or just a fan, or even if he's no fan or not collector at all, just curious people, browsing the books on the shows. So anyone will find something, even if he's not fond of Star Wars, anyone will find something that he has seen, he recall having seen in the 70s or in the 80s or in the 2000s. So it's a book that speaks to everyone. So that's also the fun part. And the idea from this book came from a book which I like very much from Stephen Sweet, which is called 1000 Collectible. So it's kind of the same idea, except of course since it's not only about French items, there are many more items in Steve's books. And so we almost done. I know that's make a lot of books, but in 2020, last year, so we released a book also which took 4 years to make. It's the Kenner Handbook. So it's kind of a side project because it's not related on French items, of course. It's the same as the Meccano Troy Logo Collector's Handbook, but it's about Kenner. So the entire Kenner collection review in a pocket book with large pictures from Star Wars to droids and Ewoks, with all the cardback variations, not the rarity because it doesn't make sense for Kenner, but the cardback variations, and surprisingly, it's something which has not been done before for a mainstream collection like as Kenner. Of course, there was the Kellerman, which is maybe the most complete, certainly the most complete book about the Kenner collection until now. But even the picture, I'm not sure everything is there, and I'm not sure there's the Yak face, for example. Maybe I'm wrong, but so in this pocket book you get really everything, and of course you get an updated view of all the front backs combination. And something very nice also from this book is that in order to make this book, I had to rely also on the community, and so we teamed up with Todd DeMartino to to have access to his extensive picture library, and most of the cards from the book are from his collection, except The Empire Strikes Back, which are from mine. And also, because we are, for Kenner, it's very, very important to feature the variations, the front-back variations. The Kellerman book is really was really updated, the matrix from the Kellerman book, because it had not been updated since 2007. And so we created a group with Kenner and cardbacks collectors like Jason Smith and in the US Jeff Etchekamp and Sean Edelman and many others. And we teamed up to create a Facebook group. And our goal was to review the entire original Kellerman front-backs matrix. And now also it's a great project, because now of course there is on each page of the Kellerman book you get the variations, the known variation at the time, but it always evolves. So the good thing is that now the group is live on Facebook. It's the Star Wars front-backs combination group, and it's an online resource, and the matrix is there. It's not in the book, because it doesn't make sense to have the matrix in the book, because it constantly evolves, like I said. And so the matrix is there, and since 2019, I think, I don't have the exact number at hand, but I think we are nearly 300 new variants from the original matrix. So that's quite an achievement. It's a good thing also for the community to spot the new variations. And so the last one is, of course, the book we are speaking about today, the Legendary Advertisement. And in the meantime, also, I'm not sure English-speaking people know about this book, because it's available only in French, but it's a book that was released in 2015, which is an official book this time with Disney and Lucasfilm. It was a book I co-authored with two other writers, and the idea is called La Saga Vue de France. It means the saga view from France, and it's a global review of the saga and how it evolved, and how it was the success and the dubbing, and stuff like that. The products, the works. It's really a global review of the success of the saga in France, and it's quite interesting because it's the first official book which is directly released in France so far, which doesn't come from a translation from an English book, and it's also the first book or the first product which is actually using the original pyramidal logo since 1995, because it was the original vintage logo has not been used in any product, the French one I mean, since 1995. So that was great to have that too. So I hope it was not too long, but that's give you an overview of the books.
Yeah, that is a big old back catalogue, isn't it? And what I will say is for the people in the UK, I'm aware that the majority of them are still available on Amazon, direct from Amazon. So, like you said, I think the first the French Touch is out of stock, but I think the rest of them are still available. So
yeah. So all the books are available from Amazon. It's easier because my first one was offset printing, and so I had to order thousands of books and manage the shipping, etc. So at that time, instant printing, was not really an improved technology, so it wasn't available. So, but now Amazon provide on-demand printing, and so it's quite good. The result is very good, and so that's more convenient because they're produced on demand and they ship directly, and also it's a domestic shipping, so that's a good thing for people buying the book because it's less expensive.
You've already mentioned him. Yann Leroux has co-authored your later books. So how did that relationship come back? And how, I'm quite interested how you divide that kind of work up. Are you both kind of writing? So I'm just interested how you try to get the voice the same throughout the whole book if you're both writing separate parts.
Yeah, so Yann has become a friend over the years because we knew we met from through the Minted Box team. And at that time, we were scanning catalogs and stuff like that to publish to share on the Mint in Box website. And that's how I came to meet Yann, and so we, during many years, we had this relationship, and we become friends. And when I released Mechano Trilogo, and I showed the content to the final outcome to Yann. So I'm not a designer, so Yann found some nice idea, because he's a graphic artist, and he worked in the marketing before, and so he had great skills to design graphics and art elements. So he has really an artistic eye about this. So he designed the first cover of Mechano Trilogo, and then he designed the cover from the French Touch. And so at this point, he was only designing the covers, and was fully doing the content and the layouts. And since the Mechano Trilogo Collector's Handbook, is doing really also the layout, the content layout, with how the page content is featured, and where the text will be placed, and how the photos will be placed and stuff like that, or what will be the backgrounds and the colors, and of course he's also designing the covers, and he's also designing, I guess many people know about it. He's also designing all the swags and the goodies we are giving up on the shows or with the books, like the pins, the postcards, all the stuff we give on multiple occasions. So, and he's very talented about this. So when we are talking about a new book, so generally what I come up with all the pictures, of course from the items, the documents, and the pictures from the items. I had access to, the thing also I had to, like I said, I for the book I rescan all my documents, and also because the technology evolves, and because the printing is much and much better. Of course, the pictures I made 10 years ago for books like the French Touch or Mechano Trilogo, they can't be used anymore now, because there's too much shadow and the bad lighting. So it's okay. It was okay at that time, but it's no longer okay now. So I had access to professional material, and I researched my entire collection. It has not been used in the books yet, but at least the database is there. And so it's a constant work, of improving things. And so when we are doing a new book, I was saying, so Yann is taking over. So generally we discuss about what's going to be in the book, what do we want to use as graphic elements, or the kind of items we want to show. We select maybe the catalogs we want to show, or the advertisement we want to show, anyway, the documents we want to include. And then we do what we call in, I don't know, I should have looked up the word in English, but in French it's a chemin de fer. It's the way you're going to build the book with all the pages. So, for example, we said, okay, what's going to be the content, and we list the content in an Excel file, page per page, and so we see at the end what's the page count, and how is the page 15 and 16 are they placed in the correctly in the way we placed it. Or is it better maybe to have this page on 20 or on 10? So we have to deal with this kind of stuff, and then Yann takes over about the content layout, and also the backgrounds, like I said, the cover and stuff like that. And I write the blurbs and I take the pictures if I have to retake the picture or edit the pictures in Photoshop. So that's pretty much how we worked together.
Yeah, sounds like you've got it nailed down between the two of you.
Making a book is a long process, like I said, because sometimes it can take up to 4 years. Sometimes the advertisement book, the legendary ads, took maybe just 3 or 4 months to make a first a draft of the book, a full draft with the picture, etc. But it took another 4 months to scan everything, because I had to, like I said, to rescan everything. So at the end, it was mostly like a 10 months, a year project. So, and it's hard to tell how it's going to take. But and anyway, we don't have any tight schedule, because we just have an idea, and so we release the project. And if we see that and when we see that the project is mature enough, and we are near completion, then we talk about it.
Yeah. How much when you say that the book before this one was 4 years, I mean, how much time are you putting into that on like a weekly basis? Do you set a set time aside, or?
Yeah, no, it's really no, we don't set time aside. It's really it depends. Sometimes I could if I have to scan documents, sometimes I can just do 2 or 3 hours in a row in a week, and maybe the week after I won't do anything, and just restart the week after. For the book that took 4 years, it's because we had to select items from our various collection. Of course, it's a collector's thing. You are not going to move to a friend's with half of your collection. So we had to go at each one's place with all the shooting material. Set everything up, with the white backgrounds and stuff like that. And so we would spend hours, placing the items to make nice pictures, taking, maybe 10 or 20 pictures of each scene, in order to have one nice picture to select. So it's a really time-consuming process, and so we don't have any, like I said, we prefer not to have any pressure. So that's why we are working, when we have time on the books, and we just announce it when we are near to complete, So we don't have any pressure, because sometimes if we are going to say the books will be released next month, and then we see that we are ahead schedule, or behind schedule, so you get stress, and so it's not good.
Yeah, totally get it. Well, let's move on to the book that we're here for. I mean, this is your latest work. I love it. I love the cover. It's in like a red. I mean, it's a striking cover straight away. It's all about the French advertisements. You've already told us that. Where does the idea come from originally? Is it when you're just working on your other books and you're scanning them in, saying this? I think you've already kind of said to blow them up. Was that really the reason that this came about?
So Yann is collecting the advertisement from all your European licenses. So we saw that many collectors have interest in the French advertisement because they are so particular. They have become really famous among the collectors. Some of them are very colorful and very well designed. Some of them are very odd, like the Empire Strikes Back scenes, and so just the small story scenes. And so we figured out it would be nice to have to feature all the documents with some introductive blurbs that explain the campaigns, the message of the campaigns, and also why this kind of medium was used or how the medium itself evolved through the campaigns. And so it was really the idea to have all the collection in a single volume. And of course, it's not the real collection because you might still have, if you're a true collector of this advertisement, to seek after them to get the genuine ones. But at least you get everything in one book, and also you get all the consumer advertising from the youth publication, and also you get the professional advertising which was released by Meccano. And so in the book you see you can discover about all this advertisement, and also an explaining review of the marketing perspective, and also you get them from Star Wars to Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, and each time you get the consumer view and the professional view. So you can see the consumer view, which echoes the professional campaign. So it's very interesting. It's kind of like having two sides of the story. So you can really see you see that because they are using the same pitch or the same kind of pictures or to introduce the campaign. So you can really see the relation between the professional ones and the consumer ones. And so having that in a single book we find it was really interesting to make, and it's also a nice extent to the Meccano collection itself.
This is dated 78 to 85, isn't it? With the adverts. Is this a definitive guide, or do you know that there's more adverts out there? Is there still stuff to uncover? I mean, is there going to be a second volume? Is kind of the question. Or
no, I think everything's there. And this time, because the scans are perfect, it would be unlikely that we are going to release a second one in 5 years because the scans are better. So I don't think so, because all the Star Wars marketing campaign for professionals are there. I mean, the ones, of course, released from Meccano, aimed at professionals through the professional publication, and also through the Meccano annual catalogs. So you've got all the page from the Meccano annual catalogs, and all the advertisement which were features in the professional publications. And also you get all the consumers advertisements from magazines like Journal de Mickey and Pif Gadget or Castor Junior. And so everything is there. And the one thing we did not select is the retailer and wholesaler catalogs or special advertising for the wholesaler or retailers, because this is not really Meccano stuff, and it's not really marketing campaigns. It's more just more random stuff. Being included in catalogs for wholesalers to place their order. So it's not really it's not really advertising or promotional campaign. So these ones are not included. And even if I have most of those publications as well in my collection, I think more might be discovered, because you never know where it can end. But at least for the official marketing campaign released by Meccano for consumers and professionals, everything's there.
Well, you've just kind of gone through what I was just going to ask you next about what kind of adverts are in here. It has got everything, hasn't it? From the mustard glass offer to the Atari to the figures. It is a beautiful, beautiful book. So I would like to just bring up a couple of the adverts, actually, things that I'd noticed just when I was flicking through. In the Empire line, I think this must be one of the Meccano trade catalogues, maybe. Mm-hmm. But the 12-inch figures includes the Leia Bespin Lando, Luke Bespin and Han Hoth mocked up. There's also a Tauntaun in the middle of that. Was that for the 12-inch? Or is that just a random Tauntaun just got in there? Yeah,
so this is actually, I think, what I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the only publication, the only public publication of this toys worldwide from any licensee. So these were the large 12-inch action figures, which was announced by Meccano, because Kenner, or Party Toys had announced them as well. So they also gave the listings to Meccano before the release, in order to include them in the catalogs enough time before. And so yes, so they are featuring these dolls, and also the Tauntaun, like you said. And the Tauntaun is, I guess it's a mistake from Meccano. The Tauntaun is listed as a 12-inch accessory, and we know it's, of course, it only became a 12-inch accessory with the new lines in 1997, something like that. So yes, these kind of documents are quite interesting as well for these reasons, because you can see stuff which did not make it. You can see prototype stuff also, like the cloud car also in this catalog as well, and sometimes it also allows to reveal some stuff which was wrongly asserted before, like the Luke Jedi in the 1983 catalog, and this figure was believed for quite some time. The Luke Jedi prototype, which is shown in that catalog, was believed during many years as a re-release of the Luke Jedi figure for the Power of the Force line. And in fact, when we saw this particular figure in the 1983 catalog, American collectors realized that it was in fact the first prototype for the action figure in 1983. So yeah, this kind of catalog reveals some interesting things.
Yeah, I actually put a little marker in on that page because the Luke's really interesting, isn't it? But that whole image, really, it's actually quite an interesting advert, isn't it? With them, Squidhead is also wearing a black cape.
Yeah.
And the Ewoks are still blacked out, standing on their pedestals. I do like that advert. Yeah. So.
You can also see some preliminary names used during the production, like Woof for Klaatu or Wiki. I don't recall. I think it's Wiki, which is named Woof in the catalog.
That's right. Yeah. No, brilliant advert, that one. It's a bit different to the usual adverts. Also, do you know what? This is probably common knowledge. I mean, you've already talked about like the postcard adverts from the Miro Meccano. It's only tonight when I was flicking through this book, I never realised that they made a story when you put them together. Never realised that. And gone through your book. I mean, I think you say that in here, don't you? That's 25 half-page ads making up a serialised photo story published every 2 weeks. Never knew that.
But I guess you are familiar with some of those ads. Right? You already seen them, right?
Yeah. I own about half of them, and it's kind of like. Then I've looked through your book, and obviously you've got them in the order, and it's like, yeah, it's a story. I never realised it. It's learn something new, don't you? It's
This may be the start for a new collection to finish the set.
Yeah, they kind of thing I just pick up. Sometimes you just see them, and you're like, oh, I'll get one, get that, and get that. But never realised that.
And like I said, like I wrote in the book, that's also really interesting because I didn't change the text of the advertisement because I wanted to include the advertisement as original. So that's why the text is still in French in the advertisement. But it's easy to translate, or if you just have to Google it, or if there is if you can do it, or if there is not the exact translation, I can do it. You just have to. Anyone can contact me, and I will happily provide the details. But so I didn't want to change the text because I know that collectors are going to look out for these ads once they have the book. And like you said, for example, you just said that you have just half of them, and you realize there are half more. So you might go to look after them. And so if I change, if I alter the reality of this advertisement, collectors might have difficulties to find them, because you might think that the text is in English, and you will look out for it in English, and of course it exists only in French. So that's why I didn't want to edit the advertising. And it's like for example, if you're buying a book about theatrical posters, you are not going to ask that the English titles are translated into the language of the book you are reading. So it's the arts are produced as they were produced at the time. So, but so the French. So that was to say. I want just to mention that, and but also to say that the French is quite easy to understand or to translate anyway. And so what's funny about this 25 story ads is that the content of the text is that so they are cleverly using different kind of toys to make kind of perspective in the picture, mixing dolls and action figures and vehicles and dice-cut vehicles. So it's very clever in terms of photography, and also the story is very funny too, because it's almost like an expanded universe, ahead of its time. We know that the expanded universe, what we call because I guess no longer called like this, but what we called at the time the expanded universe came, in the 1990s, and so just before that, you only knew the real Star Wars story, no less, no more. And in this advertisement, you can see that Meccano had really a large, autonomy in doing this advertisement. And the text, some of the story doesn't have anything to do with Star Wars, or dogfights, occurring in the sky of Alpha Centauri. So there is no Alpha Centauri, in Star Wars. Or you can see also in some of the pictures, you can see also that Lando is being watched by Ben Kenobi in the Death Star, so something which never happened, So it's really fun to have this perspective, and it's almost like an expanded universe ahead of its time.
Like I said, I didn't realise it made a story. I always just thought they were the most nutty images, just kind of like really random pictures. But that does kind of make a bit more sense now. I'm surprised.
And also, one thing also important is that that makes me think that in order to write the blurbs for this book, I wanted to do something different, and I didn't wanted to reuse what I had wrote before in the French Touch or other books. So this book is really about showing all the advertisement and also understanding the marketing purpose and the evolution of the marketing in France and of the among the Meccano team and the medium they used and the kind of document they used. And so in order to write the blurbs in his book, I interviewed people I had never interviewed before, which were the marketing directors and also the marketing executives from Meccano, who worked at the time from 1972, so before Star Wars, to 1987. And of course, I don't use the interviews as is because it doesn't make sense, but the things I explain in the book, which you can see at the evolution of the medium, etc., they are coming from the discussion with those guys. So that's very interesting.
Just brilliant. The other adverts. I mean, I could go through loads of adverts in here, but we don't want to discourage people going and buying it. So they need to go and pick it up themselves. But the other ones I really love, which I've not seen too much, is the crossover with Meccano and the Motta. Those images are amazing as well, aren't they? I mean, the guns are very prominent in the images. I mean, Han Hoth, he looks a proper badass the way he's the way he's holding his gun. But they're amazing images as well, aren't they?
And for the record about this ad, of course the Amora mustard glass are very famous as well, and they are widely collected. They are easy to find. I guess they are still quite easy to find. But the glass themselves are quite easy to find. But the caps, showing the contest on the advertisement, took more than 20 years to surface. And I was lucky enough to buy them in an auction, in a French auction, a true auction, or a real life auction in Paris some years ago. I don't recall exactly. I think it was around 2014 or something like this. And so I was the only bidder on this card because it didn't interest anyone. But they are really rare. I was lucky enough to buy 4 caps. So caps with there are two versions of the contest. There is 2 different stickers for the contest, and this is really uber rare. Because they have never been seen before. So that's also a nice story about the Amora glasses.
I actually picked up the Amora glasses because of your French Touch book, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took me ages to track down the last one because I used to see them come up on like France eBay. But then no one would ever post them. Oh no, I don't want to post it to the UK. So it took me ages to get the last one. I mean, the book's amazing. I mean, just flicking through it, the Panini adverts. It's an absolute. It's one of those books that's the kind of book you pick up and sit on your chair and have a half hour with it. Quite often, and see different things in it. I really can't recommend it enough. It's a really good.
Also, we can also mention to the readers that if you are seeking some of these advertisements and you don't know where to look, also just drop me a message and I will give you the magazine reference to look for.
Yeah, that's really helpful actually, isn't it? It's it's just brilliant. I can't recommend it enough. So we've already said it's available on Amazon in the UK. Where else can people find the book?
So mostly mainly Amazon, in fact. So because it's quite easy, like I said, in terms of logistics. So all the books are available from Amazon, and I think that if you just type, if you just go on the one of the book page on Amazon Marketplace, They are available on all the marketplaces, so which allows to be shipped domestically, whether if in the US, in Europe, and also UK, Italy and Spain. You can really order from the local marketplace. Once you are on one of the book page on Amazon, generally you can see the other books, or you can also click on my name, Faucourt, and you will get the list of the other books. And we also have a set website, which is Mecano2, the number 2, mecano2tradergo.com, and on this website you can see all the books with a description and covers and some extract of the page content, and the links to order the books in French and English. You cannot order the books directly from our website because everything is on Amazon.
As for you, Stephane, what's next? I mean, you've been churning the books out now for quite a while, so I'm pretty sure there must be something else in the pipeline. Or is it top secret?
Yeah. Like I said, there's not always something going on, but when we have an idea, we just try to complete it before talking about it to avoid to avoid unnecessary stress, and also to avoid frustration, because when I've seen before that when you announce a book and you delay the delivery, delay to deliver, people get frustrated, so it's never good. So we have a few ideas actually. So I'm not sure if it would be 2022 or 2023. We have time anyway. But yeah, we still have we have actually one very nice idea. So I hope this project will go through. And I'd like to explore the hardcover editions. So this is something that technology brings makes more affordable, because just 1 or 2 years before from now, if you wanted to print a book with hardcover, you had to again go by offset printing and use either a local expensive printer or do it offshore. But if you do it offshore, you have to order thousands and thousands of books, and then you have to manage the stocks and stuff like that. So it's really a great headache. And so one good thing with the technology is that now Amazon is also providing hardcover on demand, and the price actually is not so expensive. So that means that for example, you just have to. I haven't looked precisely, but I guess for something like $5 to $10 more per book, you can get the hardcover. So that's quite interesting, because I know some people really like the hardcover. I like it a lot myself, and so maybe I'm going to when I have some time, because I won't do it on the previous book because it doesn't make sense, providing multiple versions of the books. So the books which have been released already will remain as they are with the soft cover. But I might try the Legendary Ad as a hardcover, but I have to do a lot of rework because it's not the same page layout, the same constraint, in terms of margin and stuff like that, and cover thickness and stuff. So I might do it for fun, just to see how it what's the result when using this Amazon service, and so yes, we have some. I have an idea for a nice project which I would like to release. It will be really maybe the really great project, and I would like to try the hardcover for this book, and hopefully it will come very nicely.
Sounds good. If you do get really bored, your collector's handbooks, I mean, you're saying you've done Kenner and Meccano, a Palatoy one would be really appreciated. I'm always amazed that no one's actually gone in and covered Palatoy. I mean, there's so many people collect it over here.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And yes, is that something we are definitely up to? It's something we have been discussing with a few collectors. Nothing in progress so far, but so who knows? In fact, the Kenner and book took 4 years to make, because we had to reshoot many pictures. We had to find the pictures to onboard Tom as well to get the pictures, and it was a very, very long project because I had to reshoot my entire Empire Strikes Back collection with a professional material. But the book is, and also we had to, because I wanted to be the book the most accurate possible, so that's why also we worked on the front back combination, and that took 2 years to get something good, and but that's true that if we wanted to do, if someone wanted to do, it's an open call here. If someone wanted to do a Palitoy collector's handbook, and you would have, or maybe just 2 or 3 collectors could team up to have the full Palitoy collection. I'm not sure that exists, but because I think there are some quite obscure variations. But if someone had the material and would be able to provide really good professional photos, then doing a handbook about it would be quite easy, because we've done it before. We've done it 2 times. So yeah, we could partner to release that kind of book. That would be a great idea because, like you said, I know that that's really the missing piece now, because now there is the Meccano Trader Go, there is the Kenner. So yeah, I think it would make sense to have the same book for Palitoy.
Well, we're looking at you, Dave Tree, Gary Smith, and Darren Simpson. Hey, they're the ones that spring to mind with that. Stephane, thank you so much. I mean, I love this book.
Thanks.
I would have got it at some point. It's made me get it really quickly because I'm having you on, and it's really nice, and I can't recommend it enough to anyone listening. It's reasonably priced for a vintage collecting book. Yeah, I think it's top work, and again, he smashed it out of the park.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to bring something new to the community, and because I think I've said it before, and I'm not the only one to say it, but it's really the nice thing about collecting is all this community, and we meet people we would have never had the chance to come by, in real life, and we have so many different kind of people represented in the community, and we all focus on because animated by the same passion. So it's really nice, and I always enjoy going to shows, and I hope so. We know that we all know that we got 2 years not really funny, reckoning because of the lockdowns and the COVID, but I hope that the shows will come up again, and very nicely, and that we'll have the opportunities to bring to meet pals and collectors, again, and being able to attend conventions and buying stuff, or listing conferences, panels, and so yeah. So I really miss that, and of course, even before the lockdowns, I couldn't attend everything because you have so many shows, so many great shows in the UK. Unfortunately, we don't have that kind of shows in France. So you are really lucky guys, and so yeah. So anyway, I cannot attend everything even before, but I really expect to be able to attend some shows, hopefully in 2022, and being able to again to meet people and discuss about random things and at the bar, so and having a beer, and so it's really nice.
Yeah, I mean, I've missed the shows as well. But we're quite fortunate. We've got a Farthest From on the horizon at Christmas, so
that's great.
Yeah, 2 years since the last one, so it's kind of much needed. But yeah, that's brilliant, Stephane. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'll make sure I put links to this book all over the place on our social media, because I think people need to get involved in it.
Thank you.
Huge thank you to Stephane. I really do recommend going and having a look at that book. It is brilliant. It's a great fun look through that kind of period of time and what was going on in France. And you just heard me mention it at the end of that interview. Farthest From's back 2 years since we last had a Farthest From, but it's coming back this year. Sunday the 12th of December is Farthest From. 11 a.m. for those early bird tickets, 12 p.m. for the general entry, and the trader booking is now open and available. So please contact Dave Tree if you want to be selling at that event. You can call him on 01425 650 696 or send him an email, sales@allthecoolstuff.com. coolstuff.co.uk. It's going to be a great event. Generation Skywalker are going to be in attendance. We're going to have a table, so please come over to us. We want interviews. We want to speak to the public. We're also there on the Saturday. The Saturday Dave is doing his Star Wars Fun Day. We're going to be attending that as well, so you can come and meet us and talk to us about Star Wars and get a snippet, and we can put that on a future show. But also, that's great news. On Farthest From, on the Sunday, Ross Barr of CAS is coming over from the States, and Ross sent me a little catch up.
Hey folks, it's Ross Barr from Collector Archive Services, also known as CAS. I am thrilled to announce that CAS is making its big first venture across the pond to the UK to the awesome Farthest From show on December 12th. We're going to be there to see you all, show off some awesome samples of our work, and most importantly, to take in-person submissions. So don't worry about the cost of sending stuff over to the U.S. We are coming to you to take those submissions. Should be a good time. I have a lot of friends will be at that show. I look forward to seeing everyone. It's been a dream to come to the show for a long time, so I'm so excited. If you need to know anything about CAS, you can check us out on Facebook under Collector Archive, Instagram, Collector Archive Services, or you can go to our website, collectorarchive.com. Until then, I will see you at Farthest From December 12th. Take care.
I, for one, cannot wait to catch up with Ross, cannot wait to catch up with so many people I haven't seen for so many months, and can't wait to get back in that town hall full of vintage and spend my pocket money. If you want to join in the conversation this book month, head over to Facebook and join our We Are Generation Skywalker page. Get involved, start the conversations, join the conversations. There's the ongoing polls with the expanded universe characters ongoing over the month, and so much going on over there. And of course, you can search all our other social media, Instagram, Twitter, and generally Facebook. Just search for Generation Skywalker. Go and check out YouTube. Again, search for Generation Skywalker. You will find all our enhanced shows. Or if you can't remember any of this, head over to www.generationskywalker.com, where you'll find links to everything, all in one place, including blogs and the such. So loads to get involved in. But it is for the show. A huge thank you once again to Stephane. But it is good night from me, and we are Generation Skywalker.